Today I'd like to ask some questions. So for those that still consume animal products, to you, what is more important? Tradition, habit, taste, convenience, or someone else's actual life and existence? When we buy animal products, these are the things that we're weighing up. And I agree that the sense of taste is such a beautiful component of this human experience that we live. However, so is this ability to be compassionate and to put the needs of someone else, to show love, to show kindness, and to show grace to others above our own wants. So I think the more beautiful life experience, much more than taste, is the ability to grant someone else freedom. A freedom that they deserve and a freedom that we never really should have had a right to have to begin with. I believe there is no taste in the world that can taste as good as letting an animal live their own life. Or no taste in the world can taste as good as the pain and suffering behind that this animal actually endures for you to enjoy this taste. And in reality, all of the tastes that we get from animal products is essentially because they are seasoned with plants. Animal products themselves generally don't actually taste that good. It's just the taste that we derive from seasoning them, which actually makes them so enjoyable for us to have. Another question I'd like to ask is, what would it feel like to be in their position? Can we imagine what it would be like to be trapped in their bodies? To be a slave, to have these dominant species just absolutely control every part of your life. You have no freedom at all. You're a slave, you're tortured, you're mutilated. And can you imagine the fear you would have being in the slaughterhouse line, hearing your friends screaming, smelling their blood? Can we imagine what it would feel like to be slaughtered? It's not a pleasant experience to think about. The most common ways that animals are killed is with a knife across their throat, or they're suffocated to death in a gas chamber. Now we have to ask ourselves whether, again, taste, convenience, habit that we receive is worth the experience that we put these animals through. If you were one of these animals, another question I'd like to ask is, if you could visit one of these animals just before they were about to get slaughtered, what would you say to them? How would you explain to them why you had to do this to them? I'm so sorry that you have to be killed right now. I know that you want to live your life, but you must understand that this is just convenient for me. Your body tastes really nice, and I'm sorry you have to be killed because, you know what? I just like the way your body tastes. Now let's flip the roles. Can you imagine if you were the animal hearing those reasons? So I ask you, for all the reasons that you deeply and authentically choose to consume animal products, how well would you receive those answers if you knew that they had a different choice? If they needed to, maybe there would be some understanding. But a lot of the time, and I would say most of the time, people eat animal products because it tastes good, it's convenient, and it's habitual, rather than it is actually a necessary experience for them to do. It's very easy as the oppressor to appreciate that this isn't an issue, but when you flip roles and put your own mind in the mind of the victim, it becomes a very different scenario, and we would expect as the victim for them to do better. So ultimately we have to ask ourselves, what is the greater inconvenience? The inconvenience of being vegan, or the inconvenience of being an oppressed, victimized animal? It's a very small sacrifice that we have to make. We might have to give up things like bacon, but they have to give up their entire life. And I would think that giving up the taste of bacon is a very small sacrifice that we can make, just so they can actually enjoy their entire life.